Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about soil, and I'm going to teach you how to do your own soil analysis at home. So soil, dirt, we've seen it, we've played in it, we walk on it, we plant in it, it's all over the place. Soil is a mixture. It is all those broken down, weathered pieces of rock, but it also mixes with organic matter, dead, decomposed leaf litter, animals, okay, other life that has died and decayed in the soil. It mixes with water from rain. It also, depending on the area, gets mixed with air. If you have anything that's turning it up and can dig down in there, you get mixed up. So that's what soil is. It's just a mixture of all the weathered sediment pieces, dead decaying matter, water, and air. So we're going to do a soil analysis. And the first thing is, I have lots of different samples. You probably are only going to have one sample at home. That's fine. So the first thing that you need in order to do a soil analysis is the soil, is your dirt, and a little bit of water. And perhaps you might have a magnifying glass at home. I don't know. If not, look with your eyes, do a little observation, and try to get down close. So the first thing you're going to be looking for is size of the sediment. Are there really big pieces? Is it small? Is it fine? Is there evidence of dead decaying matter? Evidence of like leaf litter, you know, dead leaves, or evidence of sticks. Like there's a lot of what you would think of like mulch in this soil sample. So you're looking for evidence. This one is a root right there. Look, a root. So you're looking for evidence of organic matter. Remember, organic is life. So is there evidence of what was once living in your soil? Sometimes when I dig up my soil samples, I actually find life. I might find a bug. I might find an ant or a worm. Be kind to living things. So just put it back. All right, so we're looking at our soil. I'm looking at my sediment size. Sometimes, like with this one right here, the sediment all seems to be about the same size. That's my sand sample. So it's weathered at about the same rate. Whereas other samples, like this one, has all different sized pieces and it has a lot of organic matter in there. So just tell me, you know, what you observe in your soil. Color too, look at all the different colors of this soil. Some of it is light, right? Like light gray. This one is kind of tan. This one is brown. This one is dark black. And this one's kind of like a mixture of gray and black. So what kind of color does your soil have in it? Next, we're looking for texture, and you do that with water. And the first one I'm going to show you is sand. You put just a little bit of water on the sample. Take your fingers, you're going to get dirty, and take that soil and mix it with the water between your fingers. And you're going to feel it, okay? If it feels gritty, okay, feels rough, that's sand, right? It feels, you're going to feel it. This is my sand sample. You can feel it. It's gritty and rough, okay? Now, sometimes, like this one right here, if I put a little water in it and I feel it, okay, it almost makes like a mud right there. Still has a little grittiness to it, so I know there's sand in it, but there's also a smoothness to it. That is silt, okay? So sometimes you get that smooth feeling, that's gonna be your silt. Let me wash off my hands here. The last one I have to show for you is my clay. And if you mix water with clay, some of you ladies might recognize, if you mixed it with clay, you get really, really sticky feeling, and it's really, really smooth. Clay is super fine, and it feels just like a clay mask. We don't have a lot of clay in our soil. Well, it's mixed in with stuff, but it's not going to be just clay. I just happen to have some clay sample, but that's going to be clay. It's very, very, very sticky and smooth and soft. So those are my soil samples. The next thing you're gonna do is see what's in your soil. So let's continue our soil analysis. So we've looked a little bit about texture, and we felt our soil with a little water to see if it felt sandy and gritty, or smooth and silty, or sticky and clay-like. Most likely you're going to have a mixture, and you're going to be able to kind of feel those differences. Next, we're going to try to separate our soil out. So what we're going to do is you need a container. It might be an old water bottle. You can use that. You can use any type of a container that has a lid. The best ones are going to be long containers, like I have a mason jar here. That's why I kind of want you to use a water bottle, because they're tall. If you use something shallow and flat, you're not going to give your soil a lot of time to settle out. You need a longer versus wider container. So I'm going to take all of my soil samples. You need to take your soil sample. You probably need about a cup of it, and I'm going to put it all into my container here. And so here we go, I'm putting it into my container. And once you get it all down in there, okay, you are going to take a little dish soap, just a tad, and maybe like 3 drops, 4 drops. So 1, 2, 3 drops, okay? So I got 3 drops of dish soap. You then need some water, and fill it all the way to the top of your container. All the way. There we go. Okay, and put the lid on. You are going to shake it now for a good minute. You want to shake, 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 shake for a good minute, okay? All right, I've been shaking mine for a minute, and I'm now going to find a nice level place. I'm gonna set it down, and I'm gonna leave it there. I might come back in 5 minutes and see how it's doing, but I'm gonna leave it there for a good hour and then come back and check it. And afterwards, you're gonna notice that because of the different stuff that's in your soil, it's going to layer out at different times. And so you're gonna get different layers. Now, depending on your soil, you might have one really big layer and then one really small one at the top. I did this earlier, and you can see, if I can try to zoom in here, I have one layer, let's see here, big one, but then a smaller one at the top. Okay, you can kind of see the different layers. And this one that's just started has already layered out my heavier sand, and now it's starting to layer the dark black soil on top. So we're gonna come back to this in about an hour and see what happens. In the meantime, while you're doing your soil analysis at home, again, I want you writing like a scientist. I want you using science words. Are you finding sand, silt, clay? What's the texture? Is it gritty? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it soft? What is the organic? What's the evidence of life, matter that's in there? Is it decaying leaves? Is it pieces of branches? Is it twigs? Is it roots? Is it a live insect that you found? So what's evidence of organic matter? And then what is the inorganic? What's the non-life that you're seeing? The different types of sediment. So continue with your soil sample. We'll check back here in about an hour, and so will you with yours. And that's our lesson for today. So we'll check back here in about an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour, and as you can see, okay, my soil has begun to separate out. I have this sand layer. I've got this layer right here, which is my soil, my dirt. Okay, I also have some suspended organic matter. I've got a lot of leaf litter in there. I even have some soil still floating at the top here, so it's still separating out. Now it's your turn. You're going to do your own soil analysis, and you are going to write like a scientist. Remember, first you ask a question. What's in your soil? That's what we're trying to figure out. And you're gonna do the same thing I did. You're gonna get your sample, you're gonna get a little wet, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna get dirty. And you are going to describe size, shape. You're gonna talk to me about, is it sandy, gritty? Is it silt? Is it smooth? Is it clay-like and sticky? You're going to describe for me colors. You're going to label inorganic and organic matter. You are going to use as many science words as you can. You are also going to include diagrams. What's your diagram going to be? You're going to take a picture. So you're going to take a picture of your soil sample. You're also going to separate it out into layers. So again, you're going to need some sort of jar. If you don't have a jar with a lid, just get a really tall glass, put your soil in there, stir it really, 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 really good, and let it settle. That'll do the same thing. You don't need to shake it with a lid. So I look forward to seeing all of your soil analysis. Have fun.